Hey, good morning, everybody. I started without me on the screen. If you notice today, you see just me to start the day out with, and Roy had some stuff he needs to deal with first thing this morning, so he should be hopping on at some point. Not quite sure when, but he will hop on. So, what eventful night, right? So you had the Columbia news, you had the deep seek stuff going down. That's is really crazy if you start digging into it with the AI stuff. This is it's really groundbreaking what you're seeing with that. I think instead of costing billions to make AI, they're China's saying, "Hey, we can do it in a few million," which that hurt Nvidia. Which you look, Nvidia's down 12%. I mean, yeah, $12, no, 12% after hours. So yeah, pretty good drop on Nvidia. Let's see. You got your Max 7. Everything's kind of dropping except Apple. Apple's holding strong. Apple's actually up 0.14%, 1.4. So you got Nvidia down 12%. You got Microsoft down 4.5%. Google down almost 4%. Amazon down almost 4. Meta down 3.5. Tesla down 3.5. Everything is just taking a beating, pretty much. You got Apple, like I said, Apple's green. United Healthcare is green. Just looking through my watch list over here, and that's about it. Of course, VIX is just insane. Popped up to 2250 was its high, so it's come back down. Believe it or not, I've actually got some stuff drawn over here on the VIX chart that a lot of people say you can't chart the VIX. Well, I got some stuff showing you can. So we got that packed week of data this week. I'm talking about a huge week of data. So let's get to looking at the data. So today you got new home sales coming out at 9. You got more home sales. You got Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index. You got 2-year note auctions. You got the 5-year note auctions, 6-month bill auctions. You got all that going on. You got Japanese service PPI overnight. Tomorrow we have durable goods. You got Red Book, Case Shiller, which that's actually been kind of a mover here lately. Richmond Fed Index. I might be missing something. 7-year bids. Some oil stuff coming out. And then you go into Wednesday. Wednesday, big day. We got wholesale inventories coming out. We got retail inventory. You got advanced goods trades. You got the BOC rate decisions in their press conference. You got crude inventories. You've got FOMC rate statement. You got the news conference with Jay Powell. I mean, that's just enough right there. And then you go to after hours. You got Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, IBM, all with earnings after hours. Huge after hours numbers. So that's a big one. Going to Thursday. I think you get a little break, but nah, you don't get much of one. You come back in Thursday. You got ECB rate statement and their interest rate decision. You got GDP coming out. You got PCE coming out. You got jobless claims coming out. I mean, it's just a lot coming out on Thursday. And then overnight, we got Japanese unemployment rates, all that good stuff coming out. And then going into Friday, another big day, PCE, Canadian GDP, U.S. core PCE, all that stuff. You got Bowman speaking. You got personal income month over month, real personal consumption, employment costs. Chicago PMI is just, this week is just stacked full of just everything. You think of it, and it's coming out this week. So we got a couple people on there. I'll let you know, Roy is running late. He's had to take care of some family issues this morning, so he will hop on whenever he can. Howie, exactly right. Howie hops in and says, so it's safe to say that we might see a little increase in volatility. I would think so. We saw some nice increase in volatility overnight. I traded a little bit overnight. Didn't trade these. I traded one XFA. I made $800 on it. Yeah, took profit way too early. I had a sell order. So I was talking to Roy last night, and I was like, do this, that, blah, blah. I had 2 lots I went short in. Of course, I took $800 on it. And I'm like, we We could go down to, I was looking at Bookmap. I said, you got 60-30, 60-50. So actually, and then 6,000. So I actually had a take profit at first before I decided I need to go to sleep. Had one take profit at 60-50 and another take profit at 6,000. If I would have just went to sleep and left them there, I would have woke up to about $5,800 this morning. So we lost out on 5,000 by having to get some sleep. But I needed sleep so I could be here with you guys this morning. So, a sacrifice for the team. It's all good. We definitely should see some volatility today. So this is our opening range we're looking at. Our 5-minute range. We've been playing this. I went back and back tested over the weekend on this stuff. I sent Roy probably 30 screenshots of what I did. And I would do replays. And it wasn't just replays where I go back and I know what's going to happen. It was replays where I would just scroll back, not even looking, and I would hit replay, then I would trade whatever I saw on the breakout. So worked out good. I think I did end up probably doing, I think, like 20 tests on this zone and at open. And I won on 19 of them. I got stopped out on one. So that's a pretty good win rate. Now, do I think that win rate will stay there? No. I think it's probably going to be a 65 to 70% win rate, which is fine as long as we keep our stops where they need to be and we take profits and do all that stuff. It shouldn't be an issue, but still, so far, so good. So we're just going to stick this. We're going to only trade the breaks today. We're not going to trade in the chop. We're going to wait for that to break out. We got a minute and a half to open, so this is our new time, 8:20 around here is what we're thinking about. We've been getting on at 8 and we go through all our stuff. Then we have a lot of dead time. It's kind of why we decided to change this. And I kind of felt like I had to force some trades. So to make it more interesting for you guys. So I'm going to stop doing that. We're going to only trade these breaks right now. These breaks are paying off. So we're going to stick with this until something changes on it and we have to adjust. Just looking through everything else, we talked about all the Mag 7. Heck, Apple's up almost 0.5% now. ES, as of right now, is down 2%, $133 down from where it started at. That's just a crazy move, and it was more. So they got some of that back. NQ is the loser today, though. I mean, it almost $800 down, 3.62% down as of the second right now. So let's take a quick look at NQ before the open. We got 30 seconds. So yeah, just another ugly chart, right? We got down and then it just trended all the way down. Just like ES, we found a spot down here at the lower. Seems to be a good spot. So we're going to watch these. Let's get back to our chart here. So what you would look for is you're looking for a break either way. We're actually above the 50 right now. So above the 50, if we break out here, definitely looking for a long because we are above the 50. And if we go to the short side, break down below, we would definitely look to the short side because then it would be below the 50. The 50 is kind of our indicator of what we should be looking for. CVD right now is negative 9,000. I reset CVD last night during all the crazy that's going on. So yeah, looks like it got to about 13,000 negative overnight. So the market is open. We are popping a little bit here, but we're going to be patient. One thing you do have on that break, if it does break to the upside, you got VWAP pretty daggone close right there. So you got to be careful on that. So we're going to sit back and wait and see how it does. You would kind of expect a little pop this morning after the drop we had, but who knows? MO came out a little strange. S&P 500 was negative 158 million. NASDAQ was positive 10 million. The Dow was negative 77 million, and the Mag 7 positive 14 million. So we got that. VIX is 2060, so it's coming back down on this move. But you also have to think VIX it's up 38%, so it was up over 40. I think it was right at 50% up. So it is what it is. We are getting a break out of this range here, and like I said, here we come up on VWAP. Ideal situation would be is that we come back, test this zone, We would look for a long here and pop back up. Want to make sure we're only taking one lot. Don't want to try to get 3 in. Let's go to these other XFAs. So we are getting a breakout. We are going to wait for a retest. And well, one thing also, this thing, it's got to close up here. Even though it is strong so far, it hadn't closed yet. And we've got a long time on this candle. So we do have to get this candle to close above the zone. So if it closes above the zone, we want to see a retest of the zone. And then we would do pretty much a 2-for-1 risk reward on the long if we do take one. So we kind of adjust it there. We'd look at some levels too, but want to keep it around that 2-to-1. We don't want to risk too much, but we definitely want to give it room to run if we do get in one. So, and that's where we're at. So Roy was supposed to be on at 8:45, and he just messaged and said, looks like it's not going to be 8:45 when he hops on, which is all good. You have me. We might have some silence here when I'm looking and thinking. And then you also get to hear my stupid thoughts while uninterrupted, because I have some. And it helps me work out when I'm getting into a trade. So being able to talk it out, always best. Me and Roy got on together Friday just to kind of see what was going on. Before we got on together, I rushed some trades. I was trading in the chop. I was down, I think, $994 at one point. And then Roy got on. I was able to talk out what I was doing. Man, crazy how that works. Then we got the break on our range there, and I was able to trade that break and ended up $200 to the good, which that's $1,100 I made back. So I will take that. I hate I started in the hole, but like now we're not going to chase this upside. CBD is coming back. It got down to negative 7,000, and even on this move up, it's up to about negative 9,000 now. So this is interesting to see. So this might not be sustainable. Don't know yet. Let me get Tide figured out over here. I'm sure it's going to be really interesting this morning. I don't have the ability to share it. Yeah, of course, like I thought, interesting. So calls started out exactly where they thought they would, up, everything up. But volume on General Tide has turned negative, and puts are fixing to overtake calls. Very interesting look. So the sell-off might not be over. Let's look at Holdings. Holdings is doing exactly like that. Holdings is taking a deep dive on calls. And the SPY, there's a crazy thing on SPY. We're getting the opposite move on SPY. So SPY is showing positive volume. It's showing premiums moving up. Premiums coming back down now, but put premiums are moving down with it. So we will be patient. CBD is negative 9,500 now. Okay. You got some orders everywhere. You got a lot of orders right here, 60, 37.50. You got 400 orders, and then down the downside, all the way down to about 6,000. So we are waiting patiently. CBD is now negative 10,000. Let's see if VWAP can hold here if it comes back to this zone. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like VWAP being that close to the zone. So we are going to trade it safe here. We're going to wait. We're not ready to rush anything. VWAP's acting like it wants to hold, though. I wish it would come down to that zone first, but it is not. CBD's over 10,000, just kind of holding there, 10.2, 10.3 negative. So we will see what happens. Yes, and how we were seeing a little volatility right now, aren't we? We're just wanting to move. That's expected, though, with the move you had overnight, right? You got to think that you got some longs that are panicking a little bit this morning. CBD is negative 10.4. Still can't break VWAP. It's holding VWAP here, so that might be the spot to enter. But we're going to wait and see. VIX is coming back. VIX is under 20, 1988. Yeah, that was our entry spot there, it looks like. So gotten 10 points off of it so far. That would have been a good start to the day. But we're going to be patient and wait. Ooh, CBD came way back. So you got your puts, or put premium is actually rising now. And your put premiums on SPY has gone crazy. It just spiked like unbelievable, and your volume came way, way back. So we're still. Harry said, "What are you watching for on open this strong?" We're just waiting for a pullback to this level down here, Harry. This was Harry's question. We're not going to chase it. Probably should have. I probably should have took the move back to VWAP, but I want to see it come back, test this area, and hold, and then I will look to enter long. If it breaks through it, then we'll look to the downside. But as of right now, yeah, Howard says need to see if the selling is over. Lots of room above to be patient. Absolutely, there is no need at all to rush a trade this morning. Even though when VIX is coming back, Tide looks ugly. Ugly. It's volume is spiking a little bit here, but put premiums are insane right now off the bat. So we're definitely going to wait for this next candle to see, and we're not going to rush anything. We're just going to be patient, wait for the perfect setup we're looking for, and go from there. Like I said, you do look for some of these longs probably to panic down here and to dump, which why you're seeing a pop up, in my opinion. Could be a lot of things. Shorts just, wow, if you were short, I mean, you might see some short cover too, because Lord have mercy, they banked overnight. What a move, though. What a move. This thing off VWAP. There's 12 points off VWAPs. Wow. CBD's coming all the way back to negative 8,600, so it's stabilized, coming back toward the positive side. Volume on call premium is just insane right now. It is popping like crazy again, because you're getting the opposite move that you got it open. So we're looking for a decent pullback here, Harry, and then we're going to look to enter along if we get what I'm looking for. If not, we'll be patient and we'll look for another opportunity. One thing I did notice, I went back and I started drawing ranges throughout the day, and these range breaks have been paying out pretty daggone good. So if this one doesn't get us, we'll wait and see if we get another range, and we'll draw that range out and look for a break in that range. So there's your 15 points. When we first started talking, VWAP was around 60.20. You can see we got up to 60.35. So our day would have been pretty much done if we would have got in on that VWAP test, but it is what it is. So you're liable to hear some, like I said earlier, you hear me rambling a lot, but you'll liable to also hear some silence. If I get to thinking, I don't have Roy to back up, and if I need to get up and walk around, I will get up and walk around and take a quick break. Let y'all look at the chart for a minute, but that's only after we've had a couple of losses or a couple of wins, and we don't want to force anything. We got to kind of step back and reevaluate. So looking for a decent pullback here. If we can get a decent pullback here, we will take an entry long. I do like this move so far, but this thing could swap in a heartbeat on us. Look at the volume this morning. You talking about insane. 88,000 volume off open this morning on that first candle. Typically, we're in the 30 to 50,000 range. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But yeah, you had a lot of people ready to hop in this morning. I think I saw where there's like $1 trillion on the sidelines and funds and stuff just sitting there waiting to be deployed. So maybe you get some of those guys coming in on this huge drop. Is this generational wealth opportunities here? Could be. That was a heck of a move down. Interesting to see how this whole AI stuff is going to play out. That's should be everybody's attention, I would assume, but it has been Didn't take much, and AI just destroyed the market. A lot of people I saw was trying to blame the Colombia news, and Colombia had a little bit to do with it. That more of the oil prices stuff. We do get some oil from Colombia. We get, of course, a lot of coffee from Colombia, a lot of blow from Colombia, all that good stuff. So I wonder if the 25% tariffs, if that was to go towards blow, would be a good question to ask the president. We had a one-on-one meeting with him, but I would at least love it to come back and test VWAP again. Looks like it's not going to do it. We're not going to chase. You still got all those orders sitting up here at 37, 37.25. All these, they are kind of moving up some, so got to watch those. And then to the downside, you got these that are moving up. These were down a little bit earlier, so that's what I'm watching on Bookmap. I'm watching those orders move around. Thing about it is, if it breaks, breaks up here, it's got, like I always said, it's got a lot of room to run. There's not much headwinds up there to kind of slow it down once it gets past 50 or so. So that would be interesting. Of course, now if it drops down below, we'll call it 10, 6,000, you got a lot of orders at 75, 62.50, 50 on down to 12.50. So there's a lot of orders to the downside we gotta be careful with. This thing could reverse back in a heartbeat and take out a lot of stuff with it. CVD is now below negative 8,000. It's 7,900. It's kind of building back up a little here. VWAP, and then actually the 8 would be perfect test. You got all your MAs are turning up, your SMAs turning up, VWAP is starting to turn up. So that's a good sign for the long side, but it is what it is. VIX is 1949 now, still up 30%. So VIX had a hellacious move this morning. It gapped up. Oh, how much was that gap up? 14.95 to 18.84. So $4.40 gap up this morning on VIX. That is huge on the VIX. This thing is not going to give me the full pullback I want to see. But we got to be patient, right? This is what I preach, what I'm trying to get better at. So we will wait out. CVD's negative 7,500. Tide, the volume is just crazy on call. So kind of everything's pointing towards upside. I mean, this might be one where you could take along and chase a little here and it would play out, but we're trying to avoid that because it doesn't always work out that way. Well, it's now 8:45, and I have not heard back from Roy yet that he is through with what he had to take care of. So I'm saying he is not hopping on here in a minute. So we will wait and see what happens there. Just got a notification from GPT. Just make sure. I guess they're feeling left out. Want to make sure they're still there. I did download DeepSeek last night and played with it some. It's actually really cool. I mean, it's pretty much the same as the other AIs, but I was playing with it last night, drawing some Pine scripts for a trading view, and it was fantastic. So we're going to work on that today. Hopefully, after we get done with this, if I can get Roy for a few minutes, maybe I can keep him for a few minutes extra since he's later getting on this morning. We can see. We can get us some good time scripts and could help us trade this breakout and stuff. That would be awesome. And we could possibly make available to you guys on TradingView where you could look at it and you could actually use it to help you trade too. So that's my goal. I never thought I'd be into, I mean, I can't really say I'm coding. I'm just typing in chat into search into what I want to do. But if I could get that, that would be awesome. Played around with the 50 SMA break and, different crosses on it last night. And I didn't love the the alerts it was given on it. So we're going to see if we can improve on that some. The 50 SMA, if you followed us for the last week or so, you notice that 50 has been a bear to break. So I mean, you look here last night, right? So when the 50 is like a magnet, and it finally broke, it just tested, couldn't break, test. This is at the 4. Then it broke down, the 50 caught up, and look how it's rode it down, rode the MAs down, that 50's right there. Finally got above it here, came back, retested, and bounced. So you can see the importance of the 50. We just haven't been able to get the full pullback I wanted here. It's okay. It is okay. We will take what we can give us. Would love to have a good 4-figure day on these last two. We actually have a combine we can trade too, that a fresh combine we started. I blew one Friday, being a dummy, took a long off of EMA, and I kind of just walked away and moved my stop way out of the way. And of course that came back and bit me in the butt, blew it up. But we have those that we can take a few more chances on, and it's not that big a deal. So this is where we're at. Oh, Howie, I know you trade a lot of options and stuff. I was looking at Public. Have you looked into Public? Public's a trading platform. They actually pay you up to 18 cents per contract to trade options on it. I thought that was very interesting. So they don't charge you any fees to actually trade options. They actually pay you to trade options on it, which is pretty neat. So I'm going to play around with it a little bit before I move anything over there to it. It doesn't have everything available, but it's got a lot. It's got some ETFs in there and some bonds and stuff you can trade. Some more long-term stuff. How we look it up, Public. It is PUBLIC, just like it sounds. It's pretty interesting. I think Roy said he downloaded it during COVID 2020, and it only had like 40 stocks on it. Now I think there's 900 stocks on it with option levels, and it uses AI to help you with your. It's Public, PUBLIC. And it actually uses AI to help with like earnings reports, to kind of break down what the earnings report is saying in kind of more common terms. Really neat. I played around with it a little bit last night too. I thought it was pretty fun. So everybody knows that since Schwab bought Thinkorswim out, I have been hated Thinkorswim. So I played around. I got pretty much everything in Weevil, and I got some stuff in Fidelity, but I'm wanting to get everything in a decent spot. They got $5 million FDIC insurance on there too, just so you know. So I think they pay it's 4.1% if you do a cash account. It's 4.1% interest rates on your cash with up to like 6.9%. Had a lot of good stuff going for it. Wow, put premiums just took a huge dive. Volumes popping. CVD just broke, went to negative 6,900. So let's see if we can get a good move here down and get a pop back up. That would be ideal. I would love it to come down. Your 8 is fixing to break VWAP. And anybody else, if you've been watching, you notice that flags have been playing out really, really well. We definitely have a flag there. Just looking, the video's down $16, 11%. Wow. Read a little bit of that. So I guess the Metas and stuff of the world, when they're looking at building AI, they needed, of course, it cost billions of dollars, and they needed multiple computers, which NVIDIA supplied most of the chips for. I saw where NVIDIA's chip, their margin is insane. They make 70% off every chip they sell. That margin is just crazy, but it's in demand. So the belief being that if AI is not going to cost as much the billions to make as they thought it was, if it's going to be in the million range, then they won't need as many computers, so you won't need as many chips. When NVIDIA's taking a hit and everything else, and of course all your other AI players are are getting hit with it. Apple, 2% up though. You do have a few things. So you got your oil plays are up a little. ExxonMobil, Chevron. You're got a couple banks up. Most of them are down a little. AMD took the big hit, 5% down, 117. We know AMD it is what it is. Of course, with the chip news and all that stuff going on, you knew it had to take a hit. Let's see. My Palantir's take a little hit. It's down to $75, down $3.70. It's okay. I'm not worried about it as much. Netflix took a hit, down 1%. Wow. Down to $968. I remember trading that in the $500 range. I had one point where, wasn't long ago, when I was trading options, I was trading Netflix almost every day. It got to a point where I was reading it really well. So let's see. We don't really have any news. Just says, wait, CNBC, we know NVIDIA plummets 11% to lead global tech sell-off as China's DeepSeek raises questions about AI chip spending. Also, why the home insurance model is broken. It is broken. There's no doubt about that. Whole insurance world is broken, in my opinion. Wildfires ripped through Southern California this month, leaving more than 16,000 structures destroyed. I saw a thing that's pretty interesting. Now, you're going to get conspiracy theorists and all this stuff. And a lot of people are like, hey, this is where the burning's at. It's where that high-speed tram is going to go, blah, blah, blah. I did see some news where Gavin Newsom was talking about, I guess, California, and specifically Los Angeles County, is going to buy up some of this land. That's convenient, right? And to get ready for the 2028 Olympics, which will be in Los Angeles. So conspiracy theorists are going crazy with that these fires are intentional so they can buy up all the land for that. And I'm not going to say that they're wrong, but man, I hate jumping on every conspiracy theory. I hate to be that guy like, oh, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, is what it is, right? Most of them, not most of them, a lot of them tend to be right. So that's the scary part about it. Like, I'm interested to see this JFK stuff. I don't know. I saw some stuff over the weekend, a video that was supposedly of one of Lyndon B. Johnson's top aides talking about his biggest regret was listening to Lyndon Johnson on hiring somebody to assassinate Kennedy. And if that is actually true, that is a shocker. I mean, that's not really. What about the laser beams from face starts fires? I have not seen that. Is that actually something? Are they actually saying that? My gosh, some conspiracy theories are just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Now, is it possible to do? I'm sure it is, but I don't know. It's just kind of, my mind doesn't kind of take that in as much. So I don't know. That's strange. I was talking to a buddy, Trey, if you're watching. I don't know if you're watching or not. He so you take some forestry guys from the South and send them to California, you give them 2 years, and they won't have forest fires anymore. That is 100% correct. If you look in the South, down here we have Forest Commission. They do controlled burns, clearing, all that stuff to make sure that we don't have the huge forest fires that burn out of control. Now, sometimes you have some fires, but they come in and take care of it pretty daggone quick, and they knock them out. That would definitely be something. You send a couple of those good old boys out there, let them have free reign to fix all the issues. I see Roy's on. He might just be looking at it. He's on Discord. He's not on the YouTube yet. Let's see if he gives me some indication of what time he might be able to get on, or if he's going to be able to get on. And if not, we'll just sit here and y'all get to listen to my lovely voice till whenever we decide to cut it off. not gonna lie to you guys, I do like the 8:20 start time better personally. I tend to try to get as much sleep as I possibly can. I'm one of those guys that I have trouble going to sleep, but once I go to sleep, I have trouble getting up. So I don't mind being able to sleep a little bit in the morning. I said it's possible more likely from airplanes. I work with high power microwaves in my remote past. Cheaper to just pay someone to set fire, in my opinion. I think that's what we had a lot, didn't they? I saw where one woman was already accused of setting one of the fires. Am I right? Or some kid set another one. And the thing is, if a fire set, like you said, just it's cheaper to pay somebody. Yeah, you got that, and then you ignore it for a little bit and then let it go. Then it's out of control. Now you gotta act like you're doing something. Yeah, I've never been out that way, House. I don't know. He says the conditions were right for it, so I would definitely take your word on that. I'm not surprised. It is funny if you look back. You heard Trump talking about what a travesty it was that the California government didn't have enough water to do what they needed to do, right? And that's another thing. The billions of dollars they have in to make sure they have water, and they were more interested in protecting a fish that was an inch long than getting water. And then with Joe Rogan, when he was talking about the firefighter he talked to out there that said, "Hey, if it's a miracle that LA is still standing, and if a fire came through and the wind was right, it would take LA out, and there was nothing they could do about it." And you're kind of seeing that. We're seeing these orders pop up to the upside. This area right here, these were down here, so you had about 700 orders sitting there a second ago at 640. That's going to be a big level. I don't know if that's going to be a rejection level. These at 640, they seem to be leaving there. Put premiums are just dropping, just insane over here on this. So I don't know. It's another one. So this was the candle we was talking about. We should have took 60-20. Could have got you 20 points or so off of it. Yep, that would have made our day. That would have been $1,000, and that would have been perfect. So, but yeah, here we are. Mexico president reports over 4,000 deportees returned from the U.S. between January 20th and 26th. Majority being Mexican. Of course, that was the deal with Colombia last night, right? They didn't want to take their refugees back. Trump called their bluff, and then the president kind of panicked, or their Colombian president kind of panicked and said, "Hey, we'll do it." And then I guess tried to grow a backbone and said, "No, we're going to stand by what we said, and we're not going to do it." And from my understanding, they had a conversation on the phone last night, and after the conversation, they were like, "Yep, you know what? We're going to do exactly what you want us to do, everything you want us to do." So, and then I saw where the Trump administration put out an announcement saying that this proves that America is feared again by foreign countries. U.S. home sales units actual 0.698 million, forecast 0.67. So it actually went up a little on that part. Roezy, good morning. Good morning. Back on the grind. Welcome back. Welcome back. We don't have Roy yet. Roy, we're waiting on Ray. I see him. He never told me he was coming. Just popped in without announcing anything. Just could have gave me some kind of warning. Hey, I'm thinking to be here. We got Top Nams in. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Roy, we don't hear you, bro. You're not here, Roy. Nope. No sound, Roy. No sound.
How about now?
There you go. You turn that microphone on. It's crazy how it works, ain't it? Well,
it's so yeah. What a pop at the open here.
Yeah, it didn't take it. So I was telling them we get the breakout. We got the test of VWAP, and I was like, this is probably the spot right here. Of course, I didn't take it. And then it was around 2050. That would have been a 22-point move, Roy. Yeah. So we have been practicing patience this morning.
Yeah.
CVD, I mean, not CVD, but Tide is very interesting this morning. It's the pop on premium, put premiums at open. I was like, what is this? Well, that faded fast.
Yeah. So here's your general market, and then your SPY. Whoa.
Yeah, look at that open though.
Yeah.
How quick it changed.
Boom. Well, safe to say they're buying the dip.
Yeah. I was telling them earlier. I don't know if we probably had some longs that panicked a little open. I would have.
I did. Yeah, I blew out of my Apple calls profitably. I was shocked.
Yeah, and
Like,
Apple's
get me
up.
out of this.
So you
Yeah.
cut way too early on Apple.
Yeah.
Typical. I was telling them though, the thing that gets me is you look at this volume at open. About 90,000. That volume on open. Typically, we're in the 30 to 50 range. So
yeah,
triple to double of what our normal open is. So yes, you either had some short covering at open or you had people buying the dip at open. I'm not sure which one, but you had something happen. Mag 7 looks ugly except Apple. Apple's the only thing that looks decent in the Mag 7. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, only really banking that's looking decent. United Healthcare is 2% up. I mean, I guess they're thinking they're going to make some money off some people hurting themselves. The market crash. Palantir took a little hit back. It's come back. It's 76.21. It's popping back up. I kind of ran through it. The numbers didn't go through everything as far as charts and everything, but kind of ran through it. Did not go through
buy signal on Bitcoin. Buy signal there. Oof. That was at 98,000.
So we're coming down on test to 8. So here's the question. Do we long off the 8? You got the 8 and VWAP pretty much right there. You got the 13 right below it. You got 21 trending up. You got the 50 trending up. Roy, I told everybody too, I would like, hopefully you got a little time this morning once we get through with the stream. I worked on some conscripts for that 50 SMA break last night.
Yeah.
Some of it was interesting. Some of it was just, it wouldn't come through right, but I would like to work with that to see if we can maybe come up with something that we could share with the folks and it would be ours and we could.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
sounds like a good, profitable adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys would be our test subjects on it. We would let y'all try it out first. I think I'm going to take you along here. Wow, I did not mean to click it when I clicked over there. I was going to mouse there and see what I was going to do with it, but I only got it. That was not exactly where I wanted my entry at. I told them last night I did trade one XFA. I wish I'd trade all of them. $800 up on that XFA last night.
Lovely.
Dicker said he has been deep in creating strategies in PineScript last few months. It's a great.
Okay.
It's Dicker, maybe we get you on at some point to kind of walk through it with us.
Yeah.
Would love to pick your brain on some stuff. Only thing I don't like about all right, so we're here. You got to go through 40, right? We're in at, what are we in at? 27.75, which is actually, it might not be a horrible entry.
No, not a bad entry at all.
Probably look to see about that 200. That puts us above these orders. These orders have not moved in this 40. Have not moved at all. CVD is now negative 3,800. I was telling everybody it got to about negative. Looks like it got to negative 15,000 now looking at it. So that's a huge difference. Now that was at 6, a little before 6 this morning. So it would have been probably on this one right here. This is probably what drew that down. What got it so negative? Well, let's see what we do here. I was really wanting a VWAP test instead, but we got in on the 8. We will not add. So a little quick finger over here. Been patient all morning, and my finger messed me all weird. Oh, we are flagging, so we know how that goes. If you get a break here, I actually want to move this. So you got a level here, 43.52. So you want to kind of look back. We'll see. More about 45. Right in that range. And then if it starts to move, we could actually move it up towards that 72. So you might have don't know, I keep the I got ES on this chart on the 5-minute. But to my right over here on TradingView, I've got the 15-minute up. I like to look a little further back. So the levels I was looking at there, I've already got over here on this side. That's the kind of price target. So I would love for them to move these orders up. But like I said, those orders at 40, you got a few popping in and out, but for the most part, they're staying there.
So your orb high, 36.25. So if you want to play a breakout range, there's that.
I just can't continue that little move up. I don't like this candle. I don't like it on the 15 minutes. Definitely giving a candle by candle to the downside here. 10 minutes, same thing. Anybody that follows us knows we got the candle by candle for Maple Stacks. Maple Stacks plays the 10-minute frame. And it's definitely given. We've got 40 seconds left. Looks like it's going to give a candle by candle the short side signal on the 10-minute. So this trade might come back and not be the best in the world. But we are flagged. Well, I said that, and you look at this thing, that's almost, if we get a little more pop here, it will not be a candle by candle to the downside. It's going to be close. Going to be close. That last little move there is going to push it down and get a good candle by candle to the downside. And just like any strategy, though, the candle by candle is not perfect. It is not perfect. And you would want it to be, if you are taking it short, about right here to here would be your entry. So we're right there at it. So if we can break above there, that would invalidate that candle by candle anyway. If it gets a good stop there. Let's see.
It's scrappy this morning, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that massive sell-off, I mean, you had to think there was going to be some buyers. NQ is now $606 down. It was $812, I think we looked earlier. So it's made about $200 or so up to the upside. ES has made a good bit of its back up. I'm saying, look, this is relatively speaking now. This is not, it's not like all of it back, but it's made some back up. It's nowhere close to filling the gap. Nowhere close to filling that gap. I guess that gap starts at around 61.05. So yeah, we've got roughly 80 points to get there before that. If it pops this would be good for my long.
Yeah, it's staying above
50%.
above VWAP. So
yeah, what you want to see now is you can see this 8 hold. If this 8 holds and it continues to hold and pop off that 8, that's the signal that we should have a decent day. You got your put premiums are popping a little here, but your volume's still going up. Call premiums are kind of trending down a slight bit, more sideways down, not a huge drop. So CBD's almost it's negative 3,200 now. They're trying to break this thing up, but it just. Roy says she's finally a Green Day. Let's show it. She's finally agreeing on my ex after a bad week. I blame the beer in Cancun for that. Well, I could do it for sure. Swiss franc and Japanese yen rise as DeepSeek news boosts safe havens. This DeepSeek thing, I was talking about this earlier. Well, it's a lot. If you can make AI, if you can do, they said they did it for what, millions instead of billions. That
6 million, yeah.
Of course, I was telling them they're saying that's the Facebooks and stuff of the world with all these computers are thinking, well, we don't need all these computers if we can do it for 6 million instead of 50 billion, right? 10 billion, whatever the billion number was. So that means you need less computers. If you need less computers, use less chips.
Right.
So that's why you're taking a hit in your NVIDIA. NVIDIA is down 1780, 12%, 12.5% down. I hadn't looked at that NVIDIA chart. Oh boy, that's a huge flag down too, isn't it? Apple's the one. Apple popped, man, then came back. But whew, how is Apple as strong as it is with that?
It's just that run to safety. Well, yeah. I imagine all the China names are booming. I haven't looked at them.
Yeah, I saw somebody talking last night that would probably be the case, and that could set up some definitely great short opportunities because they felt that this was short-lived. Now they said don't just rush and start buying everything China going short on it. Like, let's be smart about it, right? But with if they do pop like we suspect they would pop, and let me look. Let's see what. Let's go to Baba. Baba's the one that's always.
I think I added them. Yeah, they're not up too much. They actually got faded at the open.
Yep. Which.
There you go.
Yeah, kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you I'm just kind of looking around. There's a bloodbath all over the place. So if there's any names you do like long term, not a bad day.
The VIX is still coming back. So I don't know if this move, these put premiums are what's kind of keeping me from doing anything. I don't like how the put premiums are still rising. Call volume is still going up though. So call premiums are still trending down a tad bit. So we're kind of no man's land. This entry is, the more the 8 and VWAP and 13, the more these go up, of course, the better this entry is because that's a few things to kind of hold it up. So might should have just took a couple $100 out of it and waited, but we're trying to be patient on all aspects. I would kick myself. I was telling them, Roy, last night, I don't know if you remember, we were talking. I had some, I took 2 short on ES. And I had a take profit at 50, actually 51. And then I put another take profit at 6,000 just for shits and giggles, right? Like, And I told myself, I was like, I should just go to bed. Just let it play out, go to bed. I either wake up, this XFA, I've either make $6,000 or I blow the XFA. Of course, I couldn't do it. Took $800 out of it. I'm happy, and it would have been $5,800 this morning. I woke up to it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. And I told them I blame them. I said I had to get sleep so I could be here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for you guys. So if it breaks VWAP here, this is not a good. I might go and cut this thing. Call premiums are dropping through the roof now. Put premiums are spiking. Volume is turning down, so we should get it's probably going to pull back to here and then pop. See how it reacts here. You got a nice little pop in the VIX, and then you got CBDs climb back up to negative 43. I say back up. It's technically that's down, right?
Yeah.
Start doing the negative numbers. It confuses me on what to say where people would be.
Yeah, I think they know we're trying to go with the trend.
Howie says, that's about what I made because I fell asleep. Well, congratulations.
Good job, Howie.
I got out of my sleep. You got to pop here and call premiums. You put premiums are still rising, so I don't know what to take with this. These orders are still at 40. And you got these orders at 28. Well, it looks like we're going to take an L on this one. And if we do, we're going to leave you with Roy for a minute while I take a break. We talked about this. I got to get up sometimes and walk around and clear the mind. Just sitting here. I'm going to tell you, folks, don't sit here and stare at the screen all day.
No.
Take breaks. Get up. Leave the screen. Look at something different. Look at grass. Touch grass.
Well, the play here is interesting because you're getting a pullback to the top of your zone,
which would have been a lot better entry.
Yeah. So
kind of what this is here's where I struggle with. This is what drives me crazy. So we had this big move. We finally popped above all the EMAs, right? Got above it, tested, holding, and broke back down. Now we're going to struggle. Are we going to struggle to get back above VWAP and the 13 and the 8 and kind of trend down for a bit? Could be.
Right.
We are way too close to our stop loss getting hit. And the 6 can take us out here. There it is. We got hit. Frustrating. Now, what do? We're actually close to our zone.
Yeah, I think you wait to see how it handles this zone. And where's the 50? Right there, right?
Right there.
Oh, it's way down there. Okay.
Yeah, 20 points down. All right, give me a second. I'm going to walk around for a minute.
You do that. All right, I'm going to go over Mag 7, see what we can find, see if there's anything trending in a direction. We got Apple, big pop up, kind of faded back, could be supported here at VWAP. Keep an eye on that. NVIDIA, just continue downside from below, but look at this right here. So we're right at the area 122, 123 area where we had a bounce in pre-market. So let's see if that spot can hold. Let's go to the VIX. You got a big green candle on the VIX. So let's see if there's any continuation to that candle. But so far, if we kind of flip back to ES, you've broken down VWAP. Here's your retest of VWAP. Are you going to head lower now? Let's see if that plays out. This is an important candle. Granted, it just started, so you don't want to rush into anything. As you can see, it's now trucking up. But if this candle can get faded here at VWAP, could actually set up a potential short. We'll go to Microsoft. Microsoft moving to the higher side. So it is pushing higher. You got Google kind of trending up and maybe breaking down that trend from its big gap down 3%. My gracious. Look at ES actually, so we keep an eye on that. It's 330. It looks like you get a little bit of this bend, this MACD. You had increased volume here. So, but going back to his zone, which is right about here at 15, which coincides with the 50-day moving average. That's probably your long spot. Until you can get to that, I don't know if you can go long. That's just my opinion. All right, let's keep looking around. What do we got? We got Micron getting killed, 92. Wow. So, long-term investors of Micron, if you want any buy and dip opportunity, that's about as good as one you'll find. Could keep sliding, but again, buying the dip. Let's see. Tesla under 400. That's on a good looking chart. Pushed up. Now it's kind of coming down. Kind of matches ES a little bit. Meta, surprisingly strong. Basically down just 0.6%. So it's Meta and Apple showing really good strength this morning. Really impressive by Apple. We go to Solana, 233, down a couple percent, but remember it was 260 over the weekend, so that's a pretty big move down. AMD's down 5%, not surprising given the AI news. Coin down 5%, not surprising given Bitcoin's weakness. Gold pushing lower. SPX, so SPX looks like it tested 6,000 and rejected.
Roy, I hate you.
Why?
Because he's like, I think we wait and see the us.
Yeah.
And you said SPX, so how y'all just got an email from Public, and Public actually gives you the option chains and the most traded options, so you can actually use them to see that. And of course, every one of them was SPX.
Yeah. Want to move up here off that.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah.
Well, you had the VWAP break below and then didn't hold it. Held the what's that red line? 21.
21.
Held the 21. Pushed higher.
It did. Would have been. So this is where I was talking about doing my entry, 1950. It got up to 32.75. And might be more. This is all Roy's fault. So Roy is good in some things and bad in some others. And this is where he was bad today.
I tell you, the last minutes of these candles have been very entertaining.
Yes. Howie called it earlier. You wouldn't hear, but with all the stuff going on this week, this news, everything coming out, we'll pop it back up. Where is it at? Safe to say this week might see a little increase in volatility.
Yeah, I think that's a.
So now we got a candle by candle to the upside, Roy.
Okay, so your entry would be at the 8.
Yeah, probably.
You think we get that low? 28.
8 would be. I mean, 8's not. We're not far from the 8. So I mean, we're 3 points from the 8. VWAP would be perfect, but I just don't see it coming all the way back to VWAP there. Because VWAP's at 23. That would be 10 points from here. And looks like it's not going to give us what we want. And if you're looking at the 10-minute chart now, it's talking about how Stacks plays the candle by candle on the 10-minute. We still got 4 minutes left in this candle, but it is a beautiful candle by candle to the upside on the 10-minute chart. And I would show you guys a 10-minute chart, but for some reason, Top Step thinks we don't need the 10-minute chart. we can look at the 15-minute when you're not getting the same look on the 15-minute. So scratch that. Yeah, this will be the move. Take us all the way to here to 41 from 1750. Yeah. If this thing hits that, I'm going to blame Roy at 100%. I'll send him a bill for, how much would that be? $1,000?
$1,000.
We don't mention the other guys much,
Mm-hmm.
but I was taking my break. I was looking at my phone and I saw a post on Bookface over there that somebody had one good day. They were up about 6,000 on their total. Of course, one day was 3,000, which is 50% of their profit. And so they just let it run. Of course, they got denied their payout. My question to them would be, I get you, you're not looking, you don't want windfall traders, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But why punish people for letting a play run?
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen. And I'm going to tell you the reason they punish you that is because you're not in a live account and they have no intention of moving you to a live account.
Right.
Top Step says, hey, you make $50,000 in a day, you take $50,000, you take $25,000 of it out, or what, $5,000 per time, but you take out what you take out. And of course, Top Step's going to move you to a live account, and they're encouraging you to move to a live account and to have these big days. So that is the difference when you look at the two, I guess, pretty much the leaders in the industry, and why I think Top Step stands above them as far as being a leader in the industry. Top Step promotes positive trading. They promote taking what you can get, but also letting your plays run. If you trail a play, it's great. If you trail a play and the other guys, you're allowed to get denied because your risk management was off, even though you're trailing it up. So
yeah,
make that make sense to me. So look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I made a shit ton of money off them last year. I took them for a lot, and they ended up putting me on probation because they're going to take me to live, which they never did. Roy, I'm sending you $1,000 bill, just so you know. On the bright side, if you do look at the 10-minute candle, I said that it was making a beautiful candle by candle.
Yeah, candle by candle.
That candle by candle upside looks 100 times better. So the candle's just not forming on the 10-minute. So you would look for a pullback to
38.
32.
32. Wow.
32.25, 32.50 would be 32.75 would be the top of that previous candle.
See, orb high is 36.25. So you've got that kind of hidden metric there. Also, kind of at a little bit of a pivot zone on the previous high.
You mean the one that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
I don't think you were here for that one. Maybe you were, maybe you wasn't. I don't know.
I don't think I was. The
30. Yeah, I mean, you look where 32.75, where this kind of runs into. What's sitting right there at 32, around the 32 range. You're 8. So we will look for a pullback to the 8. Might not get it. Might get a break of the 200 here, though. That is a 200 EMA. That is not an SMA. So if you do want to put it on your chart, make sure you use the EMA on the 200. The only thing I use the simple moving average on is the 50. Well, we got 200 orders at, they're just moving down. So they're moving down closer to that 8. Of course they are. CBD is negative 1,700 now.
General market tide really pushing up on this call volume. It's eating away at this put volume. So the tide is turning.
Meta turned green. Meta has turned green.
Oh, look at this on SPY. So your SPY, you had a big breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you gotta.
I keep it on SPY is the one I keep it on. I don't flip between all of them. I think SPY is the one we need to pay attention to the most. Now, can we pay attention to all of them? Absolutely. But since we are trading the S&P 500 here, right?
Mm-hmm.
SPY, I think, is the most important one for us to pay attention to. Now, your overall general market tide, yes, you need to look at it some because it does. You're looking for trends, right? And if the whole overall market trend is up, well, then you're looking for SPY to go with it. Give us the 8 test here. Give us the 8 test. Then pop back up. We could see, back to my comment, if we can break 50, me and Howie kind of talked about this earlier, you got a clean move up about to 6,100. So can it get, you get 6,100, we're looking getting close to the gap. Do we actually, there's no way we fill that gap today, is it? There's no way.
No, maybe. No.
Watch, the day's going to be over with and we're going to fill that gap. And I'm like, yeah, Roy was wrong again.
This is really higher. Yeah.
I'm really sick right now. I did not take that entry. Really sick. Let's chew some gum and see.
The 200 has a habit of being a bit tricky. Yeah. It pops above it and then kind of comes right back below it. So,
there's definitely a reason we have it on the chart. It's not for look. Look, your 8, 13, 21 made a cup and handle. Market actually made a nice cup and handle. Look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where was the top of your cup? The top of our zone. Imagine that. You know what else really frustrates me on this?
Yeah.
We ran along at what, 23.75?
Yep. I got stopped out. 28.75. 28.75.
Was it 28.75?
Yeah.
Anyway.
28.75.
No. I was in before you got here. When I lost
okay.
it, where I stopped out at. Yeah, I was in on. I think it was either this candle or this candle. Somewhere right there, anyway. CVD is now negative 800. Slowly grinding. Back to negative 1,000 now, though. It's getting a little movement here. Negative 1,400. Wow. Oh, back to negative 1,000. I just can't chase it here, even knowing that the 200 is holding. It's hard for me to take a trade up here this high. But like Roy said earlier, if you look to your left, well, where are we at right now?
Yeah.
Call premium is still going bananas. Do we take a chance here?
VIX is at the 200 on the 5 minute. So, meh. Look at this guy. Apple going for it has now filled the gap from last Monday. Look at that. Tale of two cities there.
We're going to look at 41 here, Roy.
Okay. Look at that. Well, look at that daily candle on ES. Woo!
Well, we got to 41.75 there and could not come down to my order at 41. 41.75 is what I had said would be the good spot, and I put it below that for some reason. Back to 42. I don't know if I want to get, I think I do want to get filled here because I think we just trend for a little while, but we don't have any more data today, do we?
Mm-mm.
You got your auction, your 2 year, 6 month at 10.30. Probably won't do much there, but all right, we're back to 42.25. It still won't get to that 41 that I want because well, maybe it will here. We're close. 41.75 again. Hit 40. Missed me by a tick there. Moving orders up a little bit, but they're taking them out. All right, we're in, boys and girls. $50 is still going to be a barrier to break. But we're going to put this up here. If it pops up, that would be one hell of a day right there.
I was surprisingly more conservative than you. I put my long at 36.75 and probably have to move it up to 38, which is my original want to go long. But doesn't look like it's coming at all for me. Good job.
Well, I want to wait. I want to get a little more before I move this stop up. Because I would love to move it to 38.50, but we got some orders there, but I'm worried it could come all the way back down to there and then bounce back up. So we're going to wait, leave it. We're going to leave it where it is. This might bite us in the butt. CBD is not cooperating now, though. It's negative 1,200. It got in the hundreds, but just couldn't continue that momentum. Ty suggesting we get a pop.
I think you're getting a weakness because NVIDIA's coming back a bit. You're looking at that chart. See it had a pop, big red candle.
And look at your tide, though. Your spy tide.
Yeah. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. Well, now as soon as Roy jinx it gets over there, the call premium turns down a little bit, but I don't expect anything less from Roy.
Look at this, where NVIDIA bounced pre-market low.
That's the crazy thing. So I saw a lot of people talking about all the NVIDIA bears were very prominent on Twitter. I don't usually look at Twitter, but I figured it was going to be exciting last night, and it was.
Yeah.
And the NVIDIA bears were out in full force, and I can't remember who it was. Somebody just made one comment. It was like, y'all boys are so confident that this thing's coming down, and I'm seeing a great buying opportunity right here.
Yeah. I mean, I think lead posted in the Discord, and I think he's correct. I mean, Nvidia's gonna clap back today or tomorrow. I mean, you gotta imagine they're gonna have something to say about all this. And the market's just gonna eat it up.
What did he say? He was in a total trade time 63 seconds.
63 seconds.
Led, I know Led's not watching because Led don't watch us anymore for some reason because he's a turd. But if anybody should be proud with that 63-second time, should be me. Anything for shit usually. I'm usually like, hey, in and out, in and out. DeepSeek currently only registration with the mainland China mobile phone number is supported. They restrict registration to China mobile phone numbers. I don't know what the hell that's about. Howie made a comment. They said I should have need to go back to Pepsi to write the ship. It's PepsiCo, actually. I don't know. But I told him, I was like, one thing that I will never get with PepsiCo. So anybody that knows, I used to work at PepsiCo. I was a district manager for Frito-Lay. If you ever look into earnings for PepsiCo, Frito is pretty much the cash cow for PepsiCo. Pepsi loses money, Frito makes money. Frito makes more money than Pepsi loses, keeps PepsiCo in the green, right? That, of course, and then partner with Celsius and the buys they do. But typically the buys they do are the ones that, like the Mrs. Stacy's and stuff like that are in the chip side, the food side, that really do it. And forever, PepsiCo has kept the food side and the beverage side separate. So it was pretty much like two independent companies within a company, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like if they were going to model one side, they would model the food side, right? Like, hey, let's model the food side because that's where all the profits come from. Well, no, they model the Pepsi side. So they just merged the food and the beverage together as far as not keeping them separate anymore. So I'm interested to see what this ends up doing. Do they merge their front line and their leadership too? Once they do that, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I'm so thankful that I am not in PepsiCo anymore because some of the stuff I'm hearing, I've got a few, of course, still got a lot of friends still there, and I got a couple of them that feels the need to share everything that happens there with me. And I would be really disgruntled in the way they're moving and the way they're talking about moving in the future. I just don't get it. It seems like if you have a company and you have one part of your company making money, one part of your company losing money, you would model the company that's making money.
Right.
But Pepsi gets pretty much all the marketing fund. Frito gets some, but not as much. If you notice, so Frito was really smart. They did let the people make the commercials for the Super Bowl for the Doritos and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they marketed it great. Like, hey, this is a great idea. We're going to do it this way. And this is, of course, coming from the food side. But the reason they did that is so they didn't have to spend as much money on marketing because they didn't have as much money as Pepsi did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, turned out that was genius marketing and made more money off that. And I mean, Doritos went Lay's. Well, so Frito-Lay, if you ever look at Frito-Lay, a lot of people get confused on what's actually Frito-Lay. So Frito-Lay is like Lay's, Fritos, Doritos, Ruffles, Cheetos, Funyuns, Chester's, Munchos. It's like 20 different brands inside the Frito brand, right? Lay's has always been the number one chip in the world by far. Well, this past year, Doritos actually overtook Lay's as the number one chip in the world, number one selling chip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think it has a lot to do with that marketing campaign.
Yeah.
But and the flavors, like the flavors on Doritos they come out with, they're hard to beat, right? They come out with some good flavors. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried the late night taco, but if you do, you can close your eyes and it's like eating a taco with like the lettuce and the salsa and everything on it. You're like, I'm eating a taco. Fantastic. And usually they're limited at supply. So they have them typically like in the past it was Kroger, and I think this past year they actually expanded out to do Kroger and some Walmart, some Publix.
Mm-hmm.
But their brand, their flavoring is just phenomenal. So they've actually overtaken Lay's, like I said, as the number one chip in the world, and it amazes me that a company that big is still that headstrong on, well, we've got to follow the Pepsi lead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, Pepsi doesn't lead anything. Pepsi is not the leader in beverages. Coke is by far the leader in beverages. You can't argue that fact. You can't say that Pepsi's bigger than Coke. Well, they will tell you, well, you go to Europe, Pepsi's bigger than Coke. Okay, worldwide, Coke dominates. Coke did the body armor. Coke did when Coke buys brands, did body armor, the muscle milk, stuff like that. They were the first to get into it. Now, Pepsi was smart to partner with Celsius, but they couldn't buy Celsius, right?
Right.
Celsius was smart, like, hey, we want to stay independent, but we will partner with you in this. And so a lot of your suppliers supply Pepsi. And you kind of saw this moving years ago. So used to, I know I'm going deep down a rabbit hole about PepsiCo that probably nobody really gives a shit about, but to me, I think
it's interesting.
So,
if you're investing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
years ago, Pepsi had pretty much all independent bottlers. Pepsi didn't bottle pretty much anything on their own, kind of like Dr. Pepper does now. Dr. Pepper doesn't bottle anything through Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is bottled through independent bottlers. Well, Pepsi used to be the same way, where they were bottled through independent bottlers. Well, the last 10 years, up until probably 4 years ago or so, there were still some very dominant independent bottlers with PepsiCo that PepsiCo slowly bought out and got out of it. And now I think Pepsi's pretty much 100% their own bottler. They don't have any independent bottlers anymore. If there is, they're going to be very few, and they're not going to be very big. So I don't know. It's interesting to see what happens in the future. I don't like the way they're trending future-wise. Mm-hmm. I did take all my 401k out of PepsiCo, so they can do whatever they want to do with it. I moved it into stuff I control where I want to be in. So there's that, but I don't know. It's just, I'm really interested to see what the future holds for PepsiCo and Pepsi and Frito. This is weird right here. So we're getting this pullback, right? Mm-hmm. CBD has gone from negative 1,200 to negative 700 on this pullback.
Oh, wow.
The premiums are dropping like crazy. Call volume starting to go back up. Call premiums are popping. Looks like if I'm a betting man, which I am in a trade here, and Roy, I would look here at this 8 to enter if you have not already. I like a move back up here.
I am.
If this holds. Now, this can change quick, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as I say that, CBD goes back to negative 1,100. So you have some shorts pop in real quick. So what's the deal with this? What's the importance of this DeepSeek restricts registration to China? So does this mean that they're not allowing the people in China to use it? Is that what that means?
That's what I'm taking from that. Yeah. The currently only registration with a mainland China mobile phone is supported. So basically, if you only mobile users with a Chinese number, so a Chinese carrier.
And here's the move that I was just expecting off this 21 on here. Oh, I said it could change real quick, and it went back to 1,200. Well, now it is negative 300. So CBD is going to the green side. Put premium is still going down. Call volume is going up, but the call, I want to see that call premium pop. We get that call premium to pop with this, we get a move. Of course, where are we struggling at? What's this damn line right here we're struggling at to get back over?
200.
200. What was your entry there?
38.50.
Good entry. Hopefully it holds. I'm not liking this, but everything is still suggesting that this is not a move down, even though we did get a candle by candle to this. If the candle by candle plays out better than Tide and CBD, I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, that 10-minute candle by candle looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But,
Well,
and just like that, it's
yeah.
fighting its way up.
Well, it did. Then it got above the 200 and said, "Nah, not so quick. We're gonna come right back below the 200." Your put premium is turning, curling a little, but your call premium is also turning, and your call volume is still headed up. CBD is now negative 500. All the damn neighbors' dogs are out. Y'all get to hear some dogs barking because they have no manners at all. I started to actually add another long here, but I'm trying to stick to this one. I know I took 2 last night, but that was a gamble. I was either going to make some money or lose the account. Luckily, we made some money. Oh, I did forget though. We don't need as much on this one to make it good. So if we can get back up to high day on that one, would be fantastic. But I'm not liking this move, Roy. Call premiums are popping a little, but your call volume, I mean your call premium is popping. Come
Still
on,
got
break this.
7. Yeah, I mean, still got time on this candle, so it's not, but it's just not trending in the right direction. But the
I hate this. But candle by candle on the 10-minute to the downside is playing out. 13's got a hold, or we're going to take another L here. All right, fighting back up a little off the 13. Call premium just took a dump on it, but it popped right back up. They forgot to flush. It was a very good drop on the call premium, actually.
tell you, the last minutes of these 5-minute candles have been,
Yeah. Put premium just turned down. Call premium turned up. Volume is still going up. We're trying to get here. This will get us a fantastic day on this account if we hit this. Actually, I want to move it to there. Let's get a better day. Let's see if we can have. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I had a $1,500 day on an XFA. Here's the tail right on the two. I mean, this closed right on top of the 200.
yeah, that was a good close on the 5.
And the reason I moved that up because I think if we can get here, we should pop some. Not here on this one, over here. I had it right here, right? I moved it up to the top of this one because I think if we get this break, 51.75. Only thing it struggles with, we got a bunch of orders sitting at 50, right there, and then these here. The ones that were at 40, of course, they moved those up. Now this is a horrible candle. CBD is going against us here, but Tide seems to be running with us. Tide seems to be lagging a little bit this morning. Do you see that? You feel that too, Roy?
Yeah, yeah.
We still got time on this 10-minute candle. We still got 3.5 minutes. So this 5-minute close candle will close this 10-minute candle. And we're kind of getting an indecision on the 10-minute if it holds here.
Well, you are holding so far orb high, 36.50.
Yeah. Oh, don't break.
You're holding
Don't break
orb
this.
high.
Whoa. Why did that just take us out?
Oh, you hit your limit.
It just
But you're not
liquidated.
locked.
I need
Yeah,
to
it just
do.
locked it. Yeah.
Lock it.
Then lock it. It just liquidated.
Ah, that's frustrating, but maybe it's a blessing. CVD's gone to negative 1,400. Call premium's popping. This daggone thing's gonna test the 8. Oh, I'm into 21. I want to get an entry here, but I want to get it closer to the 21 if I can. I don't love it. I'm gonna tell you, this is not a smart move, probably, but probably. We're only gonna risk if we do it. We're gonna risk a couple $100 on it, and we're gonna get in it. I don't know. I think I rushed this one. This is kind of what we do sometimes, right?
Yeah, I mean, easy to do. Only takes a few clicks.
Takes one.
Yeah.
One. It's too easy. So I sent my buddy. I don't know, Harry, if you're still watching. Neil, he's got a couple kids that they play with hatchets and stuff, and I think they're what, 4 and 6, and they'll chop wood and do all kind of stuff. And I saw there was a guy that had a log splitter and had his 2 kids about that same age out there playing with the log, like splitting the logs. So I sent it to my buddy, and I was like, "Is this your kids?" He just responded back. He said, "There's no telling how many mamas would get nervous just watching that video." Like, yeah. There's no telling how many mamas get nervous just watching your kids play in the yard.
So I got in at 32.50. Probably going to keep a pretty tight stop here. If it, yeah.
I'm not letting this go all the way down. Look how close we are to stopping me out right there. So close. It's going to take me out. The only time it doesn't is if nobody's watching. If nobody's watching, it'll come down. Was it Friday, Roy, when it came down within one tick and then bounced?
Yeah.
Or it went,
Yeah.
I think it was a short. That never happens. Typically, you get this close, it gets you. So that one's probably going to get me. I hope this 21 holds and I'm wrong, but looks like the Howard, looks like he was right. The selling might not be over with. We are decreasing volume. Here you go, Roy. On that name, like it's amazing those kids have all their fingers. Funny story. We were over there, and their grandfather brought one of them home, and he had a bag from Dollar General, had a bunch of candy and stuff in it. And he handed me the candy. He said, "Hey, can you hold this? If they want anything, just let them have whatever they want out of there. I just don't want to put out here and they get all of it out and open everything up, no eating of it." I was like, "That's fine." So I'm sitting there holding a bag of candy, and the middle son comes over and he's like, "Hey, can I have my lighter?" It's 5 at the time. I kind of looked at him. "I don't have a lighter." He's like, "Yeah, I got a lighter in that bag." So I looked at his granddad. He's like, "Yeah, well, he wanted a lighter. So I bought him a lighter." And I'm like, "Why in the heck did you buy him a lighter?" And then somebody else is there, and they're like, "Well, I mean, he probably can't light anyway." And he's like, "Oh yeah, Pop showed me how to light it, how to use it."
He bought it and taught him.
Yeah, I said, "Well, here's the deal. I'm not giving you the lighter. So if your mom and daddy come in and gets it and give it to you, that's the deal. But I'm not going to give it to you."
Right.
All right, so stop that one out. I'm not CVD. CVD's gone to negative 2,000. This VWAP hold here, and this is where we bounced at. That is the $1,000 question. CVD's coming back negative 17, negative 18. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Negative 19, got a little push down. Call premium is trending down some. Put premium is trending sideways. This call volume, and I'm going to tell you, it could be to the point where I'm reading Tide wrong because it has such a drop. And these calls that people are just buying because it's so low.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that you're never going to get a pop up. All right.
Right.
VWAP's got a hold, or the day's over negative. Oh, it acted like it wanted to bounce really hard off VWAP for a second and then came back. CVD's now gone to negative 2,000. Roy, I think we're going to have to take another break.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I can tell you all this. If we get stopped out of this, we're going to they'll call the stream here at 10 o'clock or whenever. There's no rush. I'm not saying we're getting out right this second. Yeah. We're going to see how the trade plays out first. But if we do end up taking an L on this trade, we are going to probably log out because I'm going to have to rethink some things and kind of come back. I just see somebody else got denied a payout, and it's improper risk management. And the thing is, they don't tell you what your improper risk management was.
No.
Which to me is just a way for them to deny your payout and say, "Hey, you agree to it." Roy, we got caught in the chop to the upside, bro.
Looks like it. I mean, it was a violent move down overnight, a violent move right at the open, recovery.
I think this is your chop zone now. Like, this is the zone we're looking for to break.
Yeah. And give credit where credit's due. Those candle by candles on the 10-minute are extremely good.
I hate it.
I mean, now we're at VWAP, so you just...
Yeah, it's not bouncing off VWAP. It's just kind of holding, which is not a good sign. You just had a pop and call premium, though. CVD is still 22,000, negative 2,000, negative 21, negative 2,000, negative 21, just bouncing in that area. So This is not looking promising. You got half of things telling you it's good. CBD's telling you no. CBD just went to negative 2,400. So I think we're going to get the breakdown here. This should have stopped us out here. We're done with those for the day. We can't take a chance on those anymore. This one has had a good day. We got greedy and tried to get extra on it. So I think my day is done. I think my day is done. The one thing you got to look to if it does break the downside, you got the 50 is right on top of where this range was to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
Call premiums are popping. CBD has gone to negative 3,000. Broke VWAP. Does it reclaim VWAP here? I wish this 10-minute chart would give me a good candle by candle to the upside. I would feel a lot better. Pretty strong move back to VWAP, though. The problem you got these orders right here, or they just moved them up some. These orders were staying right here. That's what has been pushing it down, these orders here. So they're following these orders. The ones that were way up here that we were looking at earlier are no longer there. So you want these to pop up. We've got 2 minutes on this candle. See, it's right above VWAP. CBD is going back to negative 26 now. Back to negative 28. Can't take it long. I'm honestly, this is set up. That was set up perfect for a short right there, I think.
I think so too.
The thing is, though, it's the 21 on the 10-minute that's actually holding. Came out almost to the penny to that just then. Your 50 is still turning down on the 10-minute. SPY's, the tide rail here is really confusing me. I mean, this premium is the only thing that's moving it. It's not the volume. Volume is still really strong on the green side. Like we keep saying calls, but we think it's overall volume. And typically, more volume goes to the green side. I think that's right. I need to study this more, to be honest with you. Negative 3,300 CBD.
Yeah. It's getting close to that support zone, 20.
Call premiums and put premiums are both rising. Volume is going up more. Put premiums turning down a slight bit, but is it enough to do anything with it? So here's the deal. I like a long. I'm in a short here at VWAP, but I can't take a short in VWAP as long as I'm still in this trade long on this side because I can't play both sides.
Right.
Could be a blessing, could be a curse. This thing could pop all. Call premium just shot up.
Yeah, the last time it got down here at VWAP, it kind of tested. I think that's when you stepped out, and then it just mooned right through it.
Here, this?
Yep. Not saying that it'll do the same now, but it's...
Yeah, CBD was less than negative 1,000, and now it's negative 3,200.
Right.
Which means there is some selling pressure here. And we are to the point of the day where we start losing some more volume. You had a little bit of extra volume. If you look, hate how it does that. But you had a little volume those last 3 candles,
Mm-hmm.
kind of increasing a little. Was that? I mean, we got to get through all this whole cluster here to have a chance. So. I'm not breaking VWAP here. Oh, you 10-minute candle. We got 8 minutes left in this candle, so we got plenty of time on it. If we can get a pop up to here, give us a great candle by candle with a long side opportunity. So. Let's see. It's not liking it. I think we're going to cut this right here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to cut it, but put premium's dropping again. Call premium's kind of chilling sideways. Volume is still going up. CVD's at negative 3,100 now. Like I said, you got these orders. Remember, these orders were way up here earlier. Now look where they're at. They're right at our entry. I don't like that. We're going to close it there. I can't. We're still green. You tell whoever you streaming.
I don't know.
This is probably a stupid play, but we did enter a short on the other one, and we're going to enter a short here. Yeah, well, we might enter a short there. That would be perfect right there, but I just don't know if we can get all the way back down there. That would be the bottom of that opening range that we had drawn out. We're not going to risk much here. We're going to risk $187. This one to about 250. These play out however they play out. I don't know. As soon as we get in, your call premium drops. CVD's at negative 33 still. It's not moving really either direction. It's not good for my short.
I just don't like the way it's hanging out at VWAP.
I'm with you, and I don't know why I took a short, but as Snoop would say, I feel something in my loins.
Look at this bad boy. Video. Set a new low at 121.
Look at this. See this? Here's what gets you. So I had this big move at open, right?
Mm-hmm.
These candles are not always the strongest. So there's orders pretty much you would consider all the way through this candle because some people had to be left out, right? You would think. So, but you got it, like you said, right here at VWAP, if it could break 1925, you got orders popping at 6,000 and 59.75. Might stop us out before then. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. So what do we have coming out at 10:30? Have a bid off.
Yeah.
So you just had. So they're going to 6-month bills. They're going to do 7.1 billion. 2-year notes. They're going to do 3.8 billion.
Mm.
So that's not necessarily means a bad or a good thing, but you typically get movement when they say, "Hey, this is how many we're going to sell." That's right in line with typically what they do. So you're not seeing a move really hard. Volume being up still on tide is what really concerns me here. If you look at Bookmap, this thing go either way. 10-minute candle, though, this is actually showing a good entry at the 8. It's right on VWAP on the 10-minute too. Just your 21 is down. That's 21's where it held. Are you on the 10-minute? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the 21 held. Now the 8 is right above here. I hate this. Back to 3,000 negative CBD. CBD is going back to closer to the positive side than the negative side. So it's going to take us out. Took that one out. That's done. We're not trading that account. We only got a little bit left on it. This one already topped us out. We ain't got much left on it either. So we have had a horrible day. Horrible day. And of course, look at this, these pieces. All right, guys, we're going to call it here for the day. I had an order there, it came right back down, it came to the penny, hit my stop, now dropped. Can't make that up. Anyway, hey, thank you guys for being here today. I know the first little bit this morning was just me by myself. I hope I didn't ramble too much for you guys, but I appreciate you being here, sticking with me, talking to me this morning, chat. We will catch everybody tomorrow. Hopefully have a better day tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna have a better day tomorrow. We're just these violent moves and stuff like that. It's really a time to kind of scale down and probably be more aggressive than we have been in the last week on our profits. Because I think most.
Thank you, Harry. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good. I think most of the trades we entered, we actually were green to start. They just turned red. So it's just one of those things that know the market, right? The volatility's there, capture it. And, if it gives you a couple $100, just take it. It's going to give you another opportunity pretty quick.
Yep. Well.
So.
All right, guys. Well, we will catch you guys in the morning. Remember, our new start time is 8:20. So we will see you guys at 8:20 in the morning. And give us 10 minutes to talk and see what's going on with the market and ready to trade. So we'll catch everybody in the morning. Hope you guys have a good, safe day the rest of the day. We'll catch you then.
All right. Bye, guys. Appreciate it.